Yes, ma'am, we are live. Good afternoon, participants. Welcome to the live session of the course, Environmental Politics, Theories, Concepts and Debates. Our instructors, Dr. Preeti Singh ma'am and Dr. Punita Pathak ma'am are here with us. Kindly feel free to join in and clear all your doubts. First, we received few questions from our learners. I'll just share the screen so that everyone can view it. We will start with those questions first. The first question is from student Priyanshu Kumar. The question is, I want to ask about the further career problem we face in future. What do you, ma'am? Can you answer, ma'am?
I would be able to respond to that if we can have an idea that what is the background of the student, I mean educational background. So that would be easy for us to manage, because you see the student named Priyanshu Kumar. Priyanshu, can you write something about your educational qualification? So that will help us.
So I will check on the YouTube whether that participant is has posted anything or not. Meantime, let's move on to the next question, ma'am. The second post is by Kunti Kumari, student, to the assignment after passing date.
I think we should respond to that.
Yeah, I can respond to this particular question. So after the due date, we can't submit the assignments because the page will get locked, and it is advised to do all your assignments well before the due date. That's the answer. Now let us move on to the third question posted by Shuha Khan. Guidance for CSE. What is that, ma'am? I don't understand.
Yes.
So let's proceed
should
to
we
the
move
next
to the
question.
fourth one?
Yeah, let's go to the fourth one posted by Ms. Deepthi Sharma. Question is, I want to ask about the examination pattern.
I think the examination would be a computer-based test, and the questions would be in MCQ format. So, and
Thank you,
rest
ma'am,
of the
for
thing,
answering.
it is clearly mentioned on the course page, the ratio of the marks of the internal and assignment and the last examinations, proctored examination. So otherwise, it should be going to be a computer-based test, and it would be in MCQ format.
Thank you, ma'am, for answering that query. Let us move on to the next question posted by Mr. Varun Shukla. The question is, what is meant by radical tactics of some environmental activists?
You see, radical in the sense there has been what's his name? Varun. Varun. So you see, basically there are some activists who believe more in a kind of piecemeal changes, gradual changes, and on the other hand, there are activists who believe more in a kind of deeper changes, basic changes in the structure, and also there are few who, like, if you have gone through the lecture on the earth first, so they said we can do anything for the protection of mother earth, and they suggested methods like monkey ranching. So that is can be called radical tactics, which has been used by some environmental activists. I
Thank
hope
you,
it
ma'am,
is
for
clear.
address. Yes, ma'am, you have answered that, ma'am. So let us move on to the next question posted by Dr. Aditi
Yes,
Singh.
I am seeing it. Can I reply to it, Murali
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Yes.
Please go ahead, ma'am. Yeah.
Yes. So there's a question that how does ecosocialism reconcile the tension between economic growth and ecological sustainability? You see, therefore, we say that ecosocialism presents a kind of radical synthesis. On the one hand, it criticizes that branch of that branch of environmentalism, which you see tries to find some kind of solution for ecological crisis within the capitalist framework. It says that within capitalism there cannot be solution. And on the other hand, also critiques the productivist variety of what you say, uh, socialism. It says that we need to reconcile this thing that economic growth has to be there, at the same time ecological sustainability. So one way is that we need to redefine this very idea of growth. So the model of growth, which would not be in a way based on uncontrolled consumption, and it focuses a lot on, you see, use value. So when we are deciding what to produce, how much to produce, that should be done on the basis of the use value. And it also talks about some kind of democratic planning which should be done, where people should participate in this process. And these are some of the methods is suggest for reconciling economic growth and what you say, ecological sustainability. The second question by Dr. Aditi Singh is, deep ecology emphasizes intrinsic value of all life, while shallow ecology is more utilitarian. Yes, Dr. Aditi, what you have written, it's a big problem that can the deep ecological principle be included in policy making, which has to take care of the practical needs of the society? And therefore, many times an allegation has been made against deep ecologists that their idea of yeah, you see, environmental protection or ecological sustainability doesn't appear very practical. So this question is definitely, there's a much big debate on this question, that whether it is, you see, realistically possible or not. I hope I have answered your query. Now, I think, I think this you will be.
The next question is by Alok Tiwari. He's asking that how to measure power like USA, China differ in their approach to environmental politics compared to developing nations. So here we can see that they have more eco-friendly equipments, technology that they are using while doing their economic growth. As we have seen in the theory that from developed country it is expected to follow the CBDR, that is common but differentiated responsibility in terms of like fund providing and also in terms of lessening the secretion of greenhouse gases. So here we can see in some of the major countries these things are being adopted by them. And the second question that was about Tiki, do you think future environmental politics will move towards cooperative global governance, or will it be shaped more by national self-interest? So you are asking about my own opinion, so I'll be giving a very optimistic I will follow a very optimistic approach. And what I'm thinking that yes, in future all the countries, whether they belong to developed countries or the developing countries, they all will come together to save the earth. As we are seeing the severe changes in the weather patterns, as we are seeing global warming and some other, natural the issues regarding natural degradation. So I'm very much hopeful that in the coming future, we all will work together to protect the earth. I hope, is it fine?
Yes, ma'am, you can proceed, ma'am.
Yes, now the next question is by Bhavya. She's asking that how does the intersection of race and gender shape the environmental justice discourse, especially when comparing America with Kenya's Green Belt movement? You see, basically, you see this concept of intersectionality, which was mainly developed by Crenshaw, where she says that how the experiences of exploitation can be seen very differently when these two categories like gender and race intersect. Basically, she has developed this very idea in the context of Black feminism. Here, if you have gone through the lecture, you have seen that the experiences of environmental degradation and the kind of planning which can have a negative impact on environment, it has, especially in case of America, what did we see in the environmental justice movement, that it as we generally think that environmental crisis is going to affect each and every section of the population, that is true. But in that case, what did we observe? That it was not impacting everyone equally. Those who were at the margin, they had to pay special cost to it. So that speaks of how the experience of environmental injustice may vary from race to race, and we need to see it from that perspective. And similarly, when we see about the Kenyan case, the Green Belt movement, and there are a number of movements where women played very, very important role. Why? Because once again, the same thing, though you see environmental crisis impacts everyone, but especially in the developing societies, because of the dependence of women on the environment for their, because of their day-to-day activities, or because of the, you see, division of labor, the way they have been impacted by that, it was, their experience was different. So this is the thing why we need to see it from an intersectional approach. Can I move forward?
Yes, ma'am. Please proceed on with the next question, ma'am.
Yes. See, Vasan, how can environmental justice be meaningfully practiced in societies with high inequality and low environmental literacy? It is very, very important, very, very significant issue, because you see, and that's why a lot of emphasis is there on environmental literacy. And you see, when we are nowadays, when we are talking about environmental discourse, we are taking this question into it. They are very much part of that. Like when we are talking about how the environmental crisis, when we are trying to see environmental crisis, we are trying to see it from the class perspective also, from the gender perspective also, from the race perspective also. So these questions are very much integrated into that. But you are correct that we need to, you see, a kind of a holistic approach, what we consider to be a good society. So that good society should be such a society which is where there is social justice, and where there is literacy and also environmental literacy. And your question somehow, you see, indicating one very important aspect, that we need to see the relation between what you say environmental justice and social justice, and how these two questions are deeply interrelated with each other. And this is the point where many of the, you see, social ecologists has highlighted that when we are trying to understand ecological crisis or ecological issues, we need to see also it from the context or from the perspective of the social structures. So if the social structures are based on inequality, so we cannot expect that the relation with the nature is going to be egalitarian. So therefore they say we need fundamental changes, we need deeper changes into the given social structure, and only then we can respond to the environmental question. And that is, you see, was very, very important reason why many of the eco-socialists or many of the social ecologists, they question the perspective of the traditional conservationists, who only saw the issue of conservation or natural conservation as an isolated issue, where they were working for conserving the environment, conserving the forest or special animal species. So the social ecologists say that if we really want to solve this question, we need to understand the relation between this class dimension as well as the ecological issue. So this is a very, very broad, you see, broad area, and which need to seen from so many perspectives. And you are absolutely correct that if we want to attain environmental justice, we have to respond to the question of social justice also. Now the next question is Amisha Kumari. What is the question? How environmental politics affect our society? I think this is a question which we both of us would like to respond to that. I think firstly Punita ma'am will speak, then I'll speak. This is the general question.
Yeah. So Amisha, as you can see that politics and society both are closely interconnected with each other, and especially when we are talking about environmental politics, that how it is affecting our society. So as you can see that whatever the norms, policies which are made at the political level in the context of protecting the environment, that is very, very important. And especially through environmental politics, what kind of changes are coming in our society, as we can see that it is raising the level of awareness. People are like more sensitive towards the environment, and as we can see that people like several INGOs are there, like Greenpeace, Client Earth, and several even movements are there, as you people have seen in some of the slides too, that how they all are working together to protect the earth. So in my view, the environmental politics is intensely affecting our society, and it is in a very positive manner.
Yes, in addition to whatever Punita ma'am has said, you see, when we talk about society, so what kind of society we have in our mind? A kind of society where everyone can have a dignified way of life. So basic needs should be fulfilled. Now, when this question arises, this question is actually very closely related to the unless and until the question is resolved, we cannot actually go in the direction of the what we say a good society. So definitely environmental politics, there's a two very important question: relation between humans and relation between human and nature. So environmental politics broadly engages with the first, that relation between human and nature. And this relationship is very much connected with relation between humans. So therefore, environmental politics definitely impacts the society. What will be the pattern for this exam?
Hema Pandey, question is that what will be the paper pattern for this exam? So as we have already mentioned that the pattern of exam will be computer based, and it will be multiple choice questions as it was there in your weekly assignments. And here 50 questions will be there, and you have to attempt all the questions, and the final result will be based on the combination of your internal assignment marks and the marks you have obtained in the proctored exam of 50 questions.
Yes. Namaskar, Mahesh. The question is, can green ideology be considered a standalone ideology like liberalism and socialism, or is it more of an evolving framework? You see, when we were discussing that how to define green ideology, there's a lot of debate. If you remember Andrew Dobson, he raised this question that should we consider green ideology as an ideology or not? And he also raised that there's a lot of debate what are the difficulty in calling green ideology as an ideology? Because in the beginning, even those who were belonging to this group, they said that this is not an ideology. So, but in over a period of, I mean, over a time, what did we see that gradually we are green ideology, because you see, green ideology is a broad umbrella term. It's a kind of broad framework which encompasses many perspective, many ideology, and the question is that whether we can call it part of green ideology is not, is that whether it is keeping the question of environment at the center or not. So a broad meaning of green ideology can be that it keeps the question of environment at the center. Now, after this point where they all are united, there are number of branches, like you have seen, it's deep ecology, then shallow ecology. They all want to protect environment. But on the question, how to protect environment and why to protect environment, on this question, they all vary. So that way, yes, green ideology has definitely developed as a very strong ideology, but yes, still we can say it is more of an evolving framework, because every day a new perspective is getting added to it. So there can be two approach of seeing it. One approach, that an ideology is which has a goal and which suggests the method to attain that goal. That way we can definitely say it is an ideology. But because of the large amount of diversity which it encompasses, on the basis of, we can also say yes, it is gradually evolving as a framework. So it is an evolving framework, we can say that. Is there any other questions?
I'll just check on the YouTube, ma'am. Right now, these are where the questions posted. Let me just check on the YouTube and get back, ma'am. On YouTube, 7 students are watching the event, but they are yet to post. And few students directly joined on the Zoom also. Miss Amisha Kumari, Miss Anshika Sharma, Miss Deepthi Sharma. Do you have any queries? Please feel free to ask, ma'am. Please unmute yourself. You can ask directly also. We'll wait for some time, ma'am.
Sure, sure.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, we got one question. Let me just zoom.
Question.
Are you able to view this question, ma'am?
Yes, I'm able to see it.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
You see, if we talk about Chipko movement, so it is primarily based on Gandhian ideology. And when we talk about the Silent Valley movement, it appears to be a kind of combination of a Marxist ideology where they were doing the scientific analysis, and on the other hand, in terms of the prayers, the padayatras, which were organized to connect people, to connect the masses. So that ideology can be called a reflection of a kind of impact of Gandhian ideology. Now, in terms of strategy, also, you see, Chipko movement mainly was based on the peaceful, non-violent Gandhian method. And Silent Valley method equally use this kind of method. Now, you are asking that how can we say it is different from the Western movements in terms of ideology in the state? So you see, when we are saying Western movements, so it appears as if we are trying to say that Western movements are homogeneous in nature. But the reality is that the Western movements are also diverse in their nature. So we cannot say that most of the or all the Western movements have the same kind of strategy or ideology. They also vary in terms of ideology and strategy. But yes, Chipko movement and Silent Valley movement in terms of strategy and in terms of ideology, primarily, these are the two major features. Yes, Malini Chandar, the Narmada Bachao Andolan focused on, yes, this question is very interesting. You see, when we were discussing Narmada Bachao Andolan, that time we said that they said it very clear. I mean, it was when we see that movement, it appears that they were addressing two issues together. One was red issue, another was green issue. The red issue was that how this dam is going to impact the people who are marginalized, who are going to be displaced, who are the PAPs, that project affected people, and how the issue of rehabilitation, that issues were there. But at the same time, there was another aspect also, which was how this whole project is going to have an impact on the green aspect. But you see, what was the dominant aspect? That definitely was the social justice concern. So it is a movement which addresses both the issue of displacement and development, therefore social justice issue. But yes, environmental justice definitely, because you see how a project is affecting people differently, and there are few who are going to pay cost for that. So yes, that is true that the issue of social justice is one of the most dominant concern in this moment. But yes, this is a moment which is addressing the issue of social justice also and environmental justice also. So it addresses both the issue. However, the issue of displacement, development, and rehabilitation, compensation, that may be considered as the most dominant aspect of the movement.
Thank you, ma'am, for answering that query. Participants, any other doubts do you have? Miss Amisha, Miss Sanshika, Miss Deepthi? On YouTube, 12 participants are watching, but they are not posting any doubts, ma'am. Maybe we will give them 2 minutes time.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, ma'am, Miss Anshika has posted on the chat. Can you view that particular question? 1 second, ma'am. I'll just stop the screen share.
1 second.
Yeah. So Miss Anshika's post is, does environmental changes affect political decision making?
Are you posting it, sir? Can you hear me? I'm not able to hear you. Your voice is not audible.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. It is posted on the Zoom chat, ma'am. If you click on the chat
Zoom
box.
chat. Let me
Yes.
check it.
Sure, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
ये क्या हो गया? ये कैसे बाहर निकल गए इंजने? छोटा कोई सेकंड इधर फट से नहीं कुर्सी ले चेयर ले आओ, बैठेंगे कैसे? वो टेबल फट से खींचो ना, वो वाले टेबल फट से खींच दो, उसी पे रख लेंगे फट से, बस ऐसे ही खींच दो। बस कुर्सी लेकर आओ अपनी भी। Sorry, we got disconnected for a while.
No problem, ma'am. No problem.
Yes, let me see with the chat in the chat.
Yes, ma'am. 2 questions are posted in the chat box, ma'am.
Yes. One question is,
Yes.
does
environmental changes affect
political decision making? Yes, definitely. It changes. You see, the political distance, number of policies, if you have gone through the policies, the programs which are there to address environmental concern, it certainly speak of that environmental changes affect political decision making. We have seen that number of the developmental project could not be continued because of its environmental impact. So when there is a number of conferences, when we talk about on global warming and such kind of issue, what is that? It is environmental change, and the policy makers, the political decision makers have to respond to that. So this is my take, but I think Punita ma'am should also respond to that question.
Yeah. As Madam already mentioned that it is very important, and as we are seeing, as she has mentioned that several conferences were called or held in this regard. So here we are seeing that yes, the government are not continuing those projects which are bringing ill impact on the environment. As we have seen that how this World Bank has withdrawn itself from the Narmada project, as we can see. Along with that, we can see that several in like Delhi, like odd even car system is there, and some other, like we can see the installment of solar panels, and how the government is also promoting people to install solar panel instead of using the hydroelectricity or coal electricity. So yes, it is affecting the decision making, and several changes has come in this regard.
Deepti Sharma, I want to ask that green politics is ideological based, or is there any practical value of it? See, these two things are not opposite. I mean, if definitely green politics follows certain ideology, but those ideology aims at bringing change in the real social world, and definitely it has practical value. Once again, your question is connected to the previous question, because this environmental politics, when they are talking about new kind of green policies, a new kind of strategy where we can have a balance between the needs of the environment and the needs of the humans, and especially this whole discourse of, you see, sustainable development that has come from where? From this environmental politics only. So it is based on certain ideology, but it doesn't mean that because it is based on certain ideology, it would not have practical use. Basically, whenever we talk about an ideological framework, we think about what kind of good society, what should be the model of the good society, and then how can we achieve that model. So definitely it has practical value. Now, I think this question will be addressed by Punita.
Amisha Kumari, how do international climate change negotiations shape national environmental policies, and what are the key political challenges in reaching consensus among countries with differing economic interests? So the very first half of the question is that international climate change negotiations, how it shaped the national environmental politics. So as we can see that the implication of the UNEP in the context of national policies of the government, then after we can see that several SDGs are there, and few SDGs that are the sustainable development goals are exclusively associated with the environmental protection. So that are also followed by the national governments, and they are also incorporating those things in their policy making. Then the second question, what are the key political challenges in reaching consensus among countries with differing economic interest? I think you have already mentioned the differing economic interest. As we can see that how America in the Donald Trump first regime, we have seen that it has withdrawn itself from the Paris Climate Change Convention. So it is showing that how the developed and even the developed countries are not ready to follow the principle of CBDR, that is common but differentiated responsibilities. As we can see this controversy in the north-south divide too, that they are not ready to follow these restrictions which are posed on the developed countries. What is their opinion? That it should be equally implemented on whether it is the developed countries or the developing countries. So that's why we are seeing that I mean the जो MEs हैं, the multilateral environmental agreements, that are not very much like influential due to this lack of consensus among the countries, specifically the developed and developing countries. But in future, we can hope that countries will come up together to initiate any common policy to protect the earth.
Thank you, ma'am, for answering those questions raised on the Zoom chat. Participants, any other doubts do you have? Meantime, I'll just check the Google response sheet as well as YouTube, ma'am. No questions posted on the Google response sheet. I'll just check on the YouTube whether any. Yes, ma'am. One question is posted on the YouTube chat. Shall I read it out, ma'am? Ma'am, are you able to view those questions posted on the YouTube chat? Or should I read it out, ma'am?
Give us a second. Let me check whether we can see it or not.
Yes, ma'am. Two questions are posted, ma'am, on the YouTube chat.
Can you share the screen here? Is it possible?
YouTube, just a second, ma'am. I'll just try to share. Just a second, ma'am.
Yes, we can see this question now.
Okay, ma'am. Please go ahead and answer those questions, ma'am.
As tune up, she's asking that is there any.
Okay, ma'am. Please go ahead and answer those questions, ma'am.
One question is about the question.
Yes, I think there is very good scope in environmental in the field of environment, as we can see that the if you are working not only in the NGO or like the civil society organizations, you can also directly apply to the United Nations and it's some of the very specialized agencies. As a few weeks before, I have seen some of the advertisement regarding the like project manager and some they need some kind of like students for field survey, and these all were like high paid in the sense that a kind of like balanced kind of salary was given by a stipend was given by them. So in my view, there are lots of scopes are available in this in the field of environment. And if we will talk about the degrees, so here you people can see that environmental sciences are there. This is specifically that is from the comes from the natural sciences. And along with that, you can also do some of the courses in like in the field of environmental studies that is actually open for the non science background students. So and in my view, lots of opportunities are there in this field.
One more thing, I think I would like to add that there's a lot of scope in field of environmental advocacy. So that is also an area, not with this course only, but some additional programs, specialized courses. That is also a very growing area where one can have a good career prospect. Now, one more question is, give me 1 second, it is. Mm, 1 second. This is the question. It is.
IDCS.
Can you Ankit Dubey? Your question is
Why IDCS are not able to perform their specific tasks for protection of environment. So IDCS, I'm not getting this abbreviation. Can you please explain? IDCS.
Ma'am, Ankit has responded that it means least developed countries. LDC, I think it's LDC, ma'am. So his question is why least developed countries are not able to perform their specific tasks for protection of environment.
So LDC is basically about the least developed countries. This term was used in the Kyoto Protocol, and it was basically, the term is basically for the underdeveloped countries. So as they are the underdeveloped countries, so basically they are facing the issue of financial crisis. That is the main issue, and they are not getting proper financial support from the international organizations as well as from the developed countries. As one of the norms of this Kyoto Protocol is that the developed country will finance the environmental sustainability in the developing country. So if the LDC countries are not able to do the environmental protection, so the major cause is their environmental that is financial crunches. That's why they are unable to do environmental protection so effectively.
Thank you, ma'am, for answering that particular query. And there is
Any other question is there?
Yes, ma'am. Tune up, a subscriber has posted, I am a student. Can you suggest which degree to pursue?
Yeah.
Tune up.
Which degree
That
to
is-
pursue?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
What are you doing now? That on the basis of that only we can say which degree to. This is entirely up to you. But yes, we can make certain suggestions if we can know about what you are doing right now.
Let us wait for his reply, ma'am.
Sure.
So we did not get any reply so far, ma'am.
So we can just say one thing, that which degree to pursue, it has to be decided on the basis of 2-3 things. What is your area of interest? What is your current educational background? And also, which are those areas where there are good job prospect, which is aligning with your interest? So these are 2-3 aspects which we need to consider generally when we have to decide which degree to pursue. I mean, it's a general, because we do not know about you. So that can be the general perspective to look at this question.
Thank you, ma'am. There is one more post. I don't know whether it is relevant to our course or not. It is by Mr. Ankit Dubey. Can you check that one, ma'am, whether it is relevant to our course or not? We can skip, ma'am, if it is not relevant to our course.
Okay, I'll see to it. I think it is not relevant to our course. We can say best of luck, that's it. And it's not relevant to course directly.
Sure, ma'am. Let's skip that one, ma'am.
Yeah.
So would you like to discuss anything in general related to our course, ma'am, since there are no more questions posted? So before concluding, would you like to discuss anything in general, ma'am, to our learners?
Yes, the 2-3 things that regarding examination, you see, you need to go through the lectures carefully. All the lectures, you need to go through it very carefully. You can prepare notes also, that will help you. And the assignments which you have done, I hope you have posted your assignment, submitted your assignment on time. That was essential component, as it is clearly written on the course page. And this, you see, this was one course where it's a kind of introductory course on environmental politics. It's a very, very broad area, and there's a lot of scope in this area. So or rather our suggestion would be that you need to continue with your own study in this field if you are interested, because obviously if you have joined, that means you are interested in the field. So you should explore more and more in this direction, and so that you can go for some kind of advanced courses with the understanding which you have attained in this course. And we hope that you have learned from this course. So that is from my side, and now from Punita ma'am.
Yes, as Madam said that do the assignments carefully and prepare the notes too. That is very, very important if you want to get the final certificate, because most of the time what happens that the student face, I mean, problem in doing the questions because they are unable to know what will be the answer. Second thing is what that this course is very, very important as we think, because in this course we have tried to bring all the important aspects of environmental politics, whether it was about the thought, then after the movement, and then after we have also discussed the environmental issues at the international level and also in the context of India. And then after we have also discussed the different policies in this regard. So I hope that you people are liking this course, and it will be very useful for your future prospect too. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So can we conclude the session, ma'am, since there are no queries posted?
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
So
thank you very much.
Thank you, Murli ji, and thank you, learners, for joining us in the course as well as in the session.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Preeti ma'am and Punita ma'am, for this live session. It was very informative and helpful. And thanks to all the participants as well for joining and making the session very interactive. We are closing the session now. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.